Well, good morning, guys. Oh, that was an awesome sleep. So good to be at the cabin. Let's get some coffee. Let's get some coffee in us. Well, I've been staying a lot more at the cabin lately. And today, I got a special project that I got planned. Because as I've been sitting here thinking, bright and early, I got Don coming this afternoon. He's gonna help me with the dock. I had a problem with the stove. It's, I guess I use the adapter for something else. I can't seem to find another adapter, so I'm gonna adapt my kettle. That's the plan here. I'll get you guys down. I use two hands. I gotta use two hands. The plan was to percolate the coffee. I don't know. I just get it in me. Let's get it in me. Do I make anybody else yawn when I do that? Why does he keep yawning? Yeah, I know you're not supposed to use these indoors. But really, the window's open, and if I was to use this thing, it's propane anyway. So what's the difference if I use this thing indoors or this thing indoors? There's no real difference. Perfect eggs. Perfect eggs. I'll leave this for a couple minutes. Got my coffee. Water's boiling. You ever guys had these things? These are like pre-made coffee in a container, or Nescafe, sweet and creamy. It's like candy. It's like candy in your face. Tastes like hot chocolate, kind of, but not. So the idea is you just kind of, you don't have to have creamer, like fresh creamer. Just kind of sprinkle it in your cup. Yo, the Cabela's Bass for Longest, my go-to mug, because it's got that nice round lip on it. But like, that's just trouble-free coffee right there. Let that cool down just a smidge, and we're good to go on the coffee situation. We're gonna let that cool down. English muffin. English muffin. You gotta pull those apart. You can't cut them. You can't cut them because it's just not. It's not right. You can't. You gotta pull them apart. You can't cut them with a knife because you lose all your little holes, the flavor holes where all the butter goes. There. See, it's got the holes. You gotta keep the holes in it. It's important. Toast. We want relatively brown toast. All right. Let those toast. Flip that guy again. Fall apart. Stop falling. All right, so we got that. Toast is toasting. All right, we don't want the toast too toasty. We want it just warm. We want it. There, we got the thing. Got it done. Here's my plate. Hot, warm English muffin. I don't want it too crunchy. Nice and fresh, soft. Okay, butter. I only butter one side. One side of the English muffin because I don't want it too buttery, and then it's too flavorful, too much. But you gotta butter one side of the English muffin. It's important. Oh, egg and residual thing. You can't have two eggs. You can't have two eggs on one English muffin because there's too much egg. So you gotta have like one English muffin, or one egg per English muffin. You got your ham, you got your cheese, you got your butter. Oh, that one. There we go. One egg per. There, that's delicious. Give it a bite, give it a try. I haven't even tried my coffee yet. I'm gonna have coffee. I'm gonna have coffee with you guys on the porch. Because, Blackwood. Well, doesn't get much better than this, you know? Early morning, relaxing outside. Got the view of the pond. Got big plans. Big plans! I'm gonna make a dock. I got the dock. The dock plan I'm just formulating in my head. I've got the idea sort of go out probably 12 feet. Just the place so I can put the boat or the canoe if I want to kind of moor it there so I don't have to drag it down there all the time. A place to fish off of, which would be nice, because what's happening now is that we get casted and it gets caught in the ducts that have the ropes going down to the aeration system sort of thing. Those get caught. So like if you can just kind of go out to the end of the dock, set your little Muskoka chair, Adirondack chair there, and just kind of dip it in and then catch a fish. Perfect. Well, anyways, enough having coffee and sitting around. All right, so I've been doing a little bit of thinking and pretty much come up with a plan in order to build our dock. We've got Don's here for the afternoon. How you doing, Don?
Good, and you?
Excellent. So do you,
Good.
I gave you a little bit of briefing of the plan. Do you have it in your head what it's going to look like? Somewhat. That is better answer than I'm used to. Yeah. It's usually like, I have no idea what it's going to look like. So yeah, we've accumulated a couple of things, and we're going to get started kind of with our floats, with our base. So we kind of have the IBC totes. We have some oversized ones. They're 1,250 liters. I don't know how many gallons that is. I think 1,000 gallons? I don't know. It doesn't matter. They're bigger than normal IBC totes, and they're actually too big for... 250 gallons. 250 gallons? Yeah. That seems about right. Probably, yeah, it's bigger than... Is the other one 200 gallons? And then... Yeah, because they're normally 1,000 liters, which is 200 gallons? 2.2? Anyways, they're bigger than normal IBC totes. Normal IBC totes are 1,000 liters. These ones are taller than that. And that being said, I cannot lift them when they're full of firewood. That's traditionally what I use these totes for, is I take the liners out and I put firewood in them. So these ones are too big. So what I'm gonna do is actually cut them down once I've taken the liner out, but I'm gonna use the liner as my floats because I think that'll be super cool. And these are extra big, so the extra floating. Right, Don? Flotation. That's a good theory, right? So yeah. Anyways, so that's the that's all we're gonna start with, and yeah, we'll see how far we get. They look like two giant sugar cubes. Dice. We should we should put dice on it. I said a die. Is it dice? 2 dice a die? No, 1 die is 1 die and 2 dies are dice. I don't know, whatever. All right, so we got them all out. As you can see, 2 giant cubes. What if they float just like that? Don's over there listening to a bald eagle. He's got a little app on his phone that identifies the sound from what it's making, and it tells him what's the sound? Is it bald eagle? What's that? Where's that app from? Cornell Ornithology Department at Merlin. Yeah. It sounds like that sounds like a seagull. Yeah, it says bald eagle. Bald eagle. Anyways, it hasn't been wrong yet. Yeah, you just let the phone listen to the sound. It tells you what kind of bird it is. That's pretty cool. Sounds like a seagull. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Anyways, we're gonna make some noise. We're cutting a tote. The idea is to cut it around 10 inches deep, and then I'm gonna squash them together. If that bald eagle would be quiet. I'm kidding. It can do its thing. I'm gonna do my thing. My initial thoughts were to cut it with a skill saw, and then I thought of all the little bits of plastic that I would have shot everywhere. So instead, I used an olfin knife to cut the edge of the plastic. It seemed to work relatively well as long as I had a really good blade. When I was up in Maine, actually, I found the American equivalent of the olfin knife, which is the Tajima. The Tajima knives are really nice, actually. I think they're on par with the olfin knives. I'm not sure which ones I like better. Tajima, Olfa, they're kind of cool, both of them. It's too bad I can't get Tajima in Canada. Maybe I can, I haven't looked really, but yeah. Anyways, that's my rant on X-Acto knives, or box cutters. Useful tools in pretty much all scenarios. So I've got them all cut. I've got 4 clamshell sides, and now I'm going to do a test to see how well they float to determine whether or not I need more. But hopefully this is enough flotation. I'm going to give it a whirl. Don just giving them a little wipe. I think it had soy sauce in it or something. I'm not sure exactly. Kind of sticky. I don't want that much soy sauce in the pond, so Don's just giving them a wipe down. Sacrificial towel. He looks pretty darn clean to me. Making Chinese food, Don. Sushi. Sushi! Oh, that's pretty buoyant. All right, so one of them by itself seems to float really, really well. So the idea is to put a lid on it so the water can't get in. And also what's going to happen is going to act sort of like a, like if you take a cup and turn it upside down and you try to push it underwater, it can't get water up inside of it. And I don't want my little totes filling up with water. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take them and put them together, and then that'll give us essentially 2 really big, like 48 inch by 48 inch float. Actually, I don't think it'll support any weight on top of it, but that's not the idea behind the floats. The floats are gonna have a frame on them in order to float. So we're just gonna put them together. Hopefully they go together relatively well. Yeah, we give it a try. I think, Don, how far are we down? An inch or so?
An inch, maybe.
All right, so we got our two floats. They're about 10 inches deep by 48 by 48. I don't know if you guys can do the math on that, the amount of flotation. And traditionally, from what I've seen, is docks or dock platforms have been either made out of like something like pressure treated, or they're made out of cedar, or they're made out of hemlock, which I don't know if you guys, a lot of you guys know about hemlock, but hemlock is kind of like a different type of cedar. Well, it's not really a different type of cedar. I think it's in the cedar family. We'll say it's in the cedar family. This hemlock here, I don't know if you guys can see that, that has been sitting down for many years now. I think it's dry. I hope it's not rotten. Actually, it would prove me right if it wasn't rotten, because it's been down. I've been watching this log for like 8 years or so. It's been actually not 8 years, 6 years, 7 years, 7 years. Anyways, this log's been here for a long time. It's been sitting up off the ground. And my idea is to take this and actually make my structures for my dock and my cross planks, because it is hemlock and it is weather resistant. One would say almost waterproof. Like I said, the cribbing on docking materials, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll do like 4x4s or 6x6 of the hemlock, and they just actually submerge them underwater. And that's what it does. Hopefully that thing isn't like weigh the earth or something like that, and we won't be able to lift it. But the idea is to get this thing to the mill and mill it up to make everything we need to make the dock. I want to give a quick shout out to Norwood. It's the HD36 sawmill that I have here. I've had it for pretty much 6 years now. It's been working flawlessly, and a lot of these projects wouldn't actually be possible without a sawmill due to the cost prohibitive nature of lumber in the world today. I'm able to pull down a tree or take dead standing or even laying down logs and turn them into useful lumber like I did just now. This was a hemlock tree that had been laying on the ground for years, and I was able to actually make really beautiful wood with it, and it wouldn't be possible without having a sawmill or access to a sawmill. So the guys over at Norwood have been excellent to deal with, excellent service, excellent everything. So if you guys are looking for a sawmill now or in the future, the link will be in the description below to get yourself your very own sawmill. Maybe you don't need one this big. They have ones to suit your needs, tailor for the types of logs that you're milling. If you're milling smaller logs, you can get a smaller sawmill. I went with the HD36 because it has the option to upgrade to hydraulics at some point, maybe in the future when I'm not able to actually lift or maneuver the logs. They have full hydraulic systems that can be hooked up to the HD36, and they have everything from chainsaw mills to smaller sawmills with the bands. But this thing has been an asset in every sense of the word, meaning I can take a log, turn it into useful material, and A, I can either sell it or B, build with it. You can check the link in the description below for a link to Norwood's website. Anyways, let's get back to the build. We're building a dock. Yeah. Isn't it a nice color? It's a scary color.
Yeah, it's very good.
Doesn't it taste like just like Tang?
Yeah, well, that's what it says, right?
That's right, Tang. It's like
It just brings back memories of childhood.
That's what when you add, like, you know, you should add 2 squirts and see how it tastes.
It's sweet enough as it is.
Is it? Yeah. I don't think it's sugar though.
I'm sure it's not.
It's just all chemical.
Yeah.
We didn't mention, we actually filmed that. Don took out the taillight. No, you didn't take out the taillight.
I took a chunk of the taillight.
Chunk of the taillight. Nothing that tuck tape won't fix. He took a chunk of the taillight out on the Jeep Grand Cherokee and kind of ran over the trough on the waterfall, but that's okay. We bent it all back, and tuck tape will fix that. It's not a big hole. I was just, yeah, who needs brake lights in the forest? It's in there still. Like, you tuck tape that thing just so the water doesn't get in there. Anyways, this is they don't know about this Jeep yet. This is a scrap Jeep that we picked up. It came with no tires, so I found some tires. But what I did was I equipped it with a dual acting hydraulic pump from Princess Auto, and that allows it to operate the dump trailer, which is it's a hydraulic dump trailer. So it gives us basically 2 vehicles. So I can load the dump trailer with the tractor and then dump it with the Jeep. And the other thing with the Jeep is it's extra heavy, so it's not actually it's kind of more designed to carry, you know, sort of 2 tons of dirt, as opposed to the tractor, which gets thrown around like a rag doll. So, but I was just thinking this Tang extra thing should be like a new TikTok trend where you kind of just take it and just like a shot of it. I don't really want to try it, but I think somebody should try it and let me know what that tastes like. Just take like a, or take the whole lid off and just take a. It does say don't do that, but. Anyways, I think it would be extra flavorful if your tongue doesn't fall off. All right, we're gonna start building this dock, but we got all our stuff milled up. You can see it here. It looks beautiful. That's the first time I've milled up hemlock. They're really nice trees. I can show you what a hemlock looks like when it's not, you know, rotting on the ground. But yeah, that's the hemlock stuff there. It's got that really warm orange size to it. You can see what happened with the other stuff. So near the base of the log, you can see that it's kind of rotten, which is kind of neat because in itself, I'm going to take the center out of that thing. That thing's a garbage can all day long. Like, it's got the perfect side. Oh, maybe it's too rotten. Yeah, the one side's gone. That's what I was doing. I cut down the base of the log from the bottom up until I find something that's not rotten, and that's where I kept. And yeah, now I don't have that log in the way, and I've got some really cool, useful timbers. That's kind of a neat piece there. Anyways, always a project to do. And I've got some spare hemlock over there if I need more dock boards. It's a hemlock dock. That's kind of rolls right off the tongue. A hemlock dock, Don. A hemlock dock, Don. Wow. That's hard to say. It's like tongue twister. Tongue twister. In order to build our frame, we took our hemlock wood that we had previously milled and we skirted all the way around it, and then we added some more pieces to cross members in order to support our frame. Once that was done, we added a couple more cross pieces to give us a little bit more support, and then once that's done, we'll be able to lay all our deck wood. We ended up using a lot of the hemlock that we milled out to 3/4 of an inch thick, and we cut them all to size, around 51.5 inches long, and we added them side to side and we screwed them on as we went. And I figure by squishing the tote in place, it'll stay there. If this was on a lake or on a river, I'd probably attach the tote securely to the underside in order for it to not float away during high winds or something. But I doubt that will occur. We just have to make sure that we keep the totes in place when we get the dock into the pond. What's your thoughts, Don?
Just trying to figure out how to get it into the pond.
You think we should just like pick it up, or you think we can pick that thing up?
No.
No, it's heavy.
It's heavy.
So I think we should slide it down maybe on the grassy area, not to puncture our totes. Or do you think you're thinking rollers maybe? But I don't know if rollers would work, like using the poles as rollers.
Guess we try sliding.
To get the tractor and just push it.
Could do that.
That might destroy things.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea though. All right, let's try to push it like brute force, and then we'll try the tractor in it. Here's $1 million question, Don. Is this thing gonna float?
That we'll soon find out.
You're gonna find out. You have any guesses? What's your guess?
I'm sure it will.
It's because it's made of wood, right?
Yeah, wood and plastic.
Yeah, it should float. Look at this, beautiful looking. That's like hemlock looks a lot like cedar, but it's actually hemlock is in the pine family. But cedar is in the cypress family, I believe. Juniper. And it was beautiful looking stuff. And it's going to get lighter as this stuff dries out, because as I found out, this stuff, although it has been down for a really long time, it is really, really wet. And one of the benefits of having it really, really wet is that the screws do not split the wood. They're going to be, once this thing dries out, it's going to be super hard. And the other thing I notice when you do anything with kind of wet wood, you get a little bit of spring in it. But when it's dried out, that spring goes away. So this not having any support at the 2-foot section won't be a problem once it dries out. And being in the full sun on the pond, I think this is going to dry out and be super solid. But in the meantime, you can just walk on the sides. Hopefully it'll work. We're digging in the ground.
It's dragging here.
There you go. My fingers are stuck. I gotta shimmy. You could go side to side, like. Hang on, we got. She's floating already. Hear that? That's uh-oh. I think that's water going into one of the floats. All right, so what happened was, well, the tote didn't stay in that little pocket like I said it was going to, and now it is sinking. Yeah, so we gotta drag it back out and make sure that float is in the right spot. Oh, we got the tractor. Sit there, and then we'll attach. Maybe we'll get a couple straps. All right, so the plan is to put this strap all the way around the base of that thing, hook it onto the tractor forks, and kind of gingerly pull it out. And hopefully I can grab the float and reposition it and set her back down. We're gonna see what happens. We don't figure if we try it, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's a paddling. Okay. Okay. Tilt your back, tilt the forks back, maybe like just that. To finish off our dock, we ended up using a couple of cedar poles. We took the cedar poles and we inset them into the rock in order for them to be stable. We took a couple of the boards that we didn't use for the dock and we cut them a little shorter to create a little ramp up to the flat spot. Once we got to the flat spot, we actually took another couple of cedar poles and added more boards to those until we got to the flat spot where we could get off the dock. All right, Don, you get to walk out there.
Problem. I'm completely confident.
Completely confident, are you? She looks perfect.
Little spongy right here, but
yeah. Well, that'll harden up once those boards dry.
Yeah, from side to side, it's great.
Yeah. You can see it's in the shadow now, but like right here, it's real stiff, and then right about here, it gets a little spongy, and then we got our middle rib, which is right here. Stiff and then spongy again. And the only reason that's spongy is because these boards are extremely wet. Once they dry out, that's going to stiffen up significantly. We got the side-to-side motion, but it is a floating dock after all, so we're not expecting really solid deck. But you could also drive down a couple of posts right here and make it perfectly solid. But we don't want that. Perfect. I like it. Well, she's certainly sunny out here. One more thing that we need to address at the pond is that, well, Chris did a little bit of a video the other week where he decided to make a maggot feeder. That's what that rope is going across the pond. I don't know if you guys can see that. He had, well, he's feeding the fish, and I think he put maybe too much feed in the water. We actually had some fish not survive. There was 4 that died. I'm not sure if the water clarity or if it was too much food or if it was the temperature. The temperature actually went up to, I think it was like 22 degrees, which is close to, well, it's not ideal. I guess 24 is terrible, 22 is okay, and well, anyway, so I think a combination of things made us not live. So what we're gonna do is, I guess due to the maggot feeder, we're gonna actually add some pond conditioner. It's about time. It's late fall, kind of, or early fall, late summer. This is Nature's Pond Care, which is Nature's Pond Care conditioner. We're gonna put that stuff in there to see how it's gonna clean up a lot of the turbidity and the algae growth and whatnot. It kind of like fixes the organic growth, and I think we added a lot of organic material by having the maggot feeder kind of do its thing. So we're just gonna add that in, and anyways, we're just gonna watch it for a little while. I'm here all week, so we're gonna see how well it fares and see if it changes the color or anything like that. That'd be kind of neat to watch. Anyways, we're gonna throw some in, see what happens. Success! It works really well. Fine line. Standing on the shore looking like an idiot fishing. All right, so there's young bull and old bull. They're fishing. I should narrate this fishing expedition. Chris is gonna wait nearby. Oh, that was a good cast.
We're out there a bit more.
Chris is sitting by nearby with the old net, anticipation of fish. Holding second cast. Oh, that was a good cast.
Set it hard. There you go.
Oh!
Reel in. Reel in. Get out of the shore.
Oh! Got a fish!
You're up there. You're up
Get
there.
in there, hold it! Oh, he swallowed it.
A small medium?
Small medium.
Yeah, the other one was bigger.
Yeah, definitely bigger.
Jeez.
But if you can't, if you got a good hook in there, it's unfortunately, we're gonna have to keep them. Good fish though.
Why do we have to keep it? Because the hook's too far in?
Yeah, the hook. See how it's past its. If you lip hooked it, you
Yeah.
could have let it go, but that'll probably bleed
To death?
So you like bobber fishing instead? Float
Yeah.
fishing?
Took like 5 minutes.
Took 5 minutes. The last time it took 3 hours. Creative editing on that one. You have to go watch the maggot feeder video where Colin caught a fish. It took 3 hours because we snagged 6 times.
More than
So
6.
I'm like, well, you know what? I never even thought of using a float, but so you put the float on, just a standard float, dangle the water. That's more your style, eh? You like that?
Well, because I actually caught something.
It's not an exercise in frustration.
Yeah.
Well, fishing is an exercise in frustration. You got to deal with snags, tangles, the fish not cooperating, weather conditions.
Well, the weather was better today. It wasn't like foggy.
Wow.
Or, well, it is
Light-
foggy,
light-
but
light
like,
mist.
it was like,
Maybe it just wasn't 3 hours worth of frustration.
yeah.
Yeah. Here you go. Here's your fish. You want to hold it up? Well, we'll get it knocked out first, and then you can hold it. Sort of
All
thing.
right.
Let's see if it goes back in. It wasn't hooked as bad as we thought. Go. I was gonna release a little more carefully than that, but feisty. All right, catch a bigger one. Oh, you got a bite already, dude. Set it. Nope. Let it sink first. Let it sink. Let it sink. Go. Set. Ah. You want to do it by yourself?
I was gonna wait longer.
You're gonna wait longer. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
for-
the longer you let it sit, here, the more the fish is gonna swallow. Can you breathe here?
Set it. It's underwater.
It doesn't have it yet.
There, you got it.
Yeah.
Bigger? Oh, you got it's the same size.
Smaller.
It is smaller. Rod tip on. Oh, that is smaller. You're going backwards.
Give a mouth to mouth.
Let's see what he does in the net here. Watch it. Yeah, I think he's done. That's your fish. We gotta catch another one though if he's that small. Yeah. He's not gonna make it, so we're gonna eat him. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's a medium.
Oh, the small fish are biting today. Well, we got a bunch. We got 2 small ones. This one looks like a good lip set, but we'll keep them. That's what we're here to do. Take a couple out to eat. Whew. Pwah, got slimed. Pwah, rock, oh, thanks. There we go, 2 fish. Obviously mine's bigger than Holden's. That's how it goes.
Mm.
Not the biggest ones in the pond. I don't know.
The first one I caught was bigger than.
They must think we're kids fishing because we're using the float today.
Yeah.
So only the little kid-sized trout are biting. Got to use some more big man techniques to get the big fish. Next time, eh?
Yeah, just put on your swimsuit, get the net,
Yeah.
jump in and catch it.
That's more manly?
Yeah, the most manly.
Okay. You're going to do that next time?
Yeah.
All right. Deal.